In this video, I will show you how you can install Ubuntu as a virtual operating system with Oracle VM VirtualBox. So I have the VirtualBox already installed on my Windows 10 laptop. But if you do not have VirtualBox installed, you can simply go to virtualbox.org and can download the latest version of VirtualBox as per your operating system and the processor architecture. So once you have the VirtualBox installed on your operating system, then you also have to download the Ubuntu ISO file. So for that, you need to go to ubuntu.com and then here click on the download menu. And here you have to simply click on the latest stable version, which is 20.04 LTS in our case. So I'm just clicking on this one and your download will start. Now open the VirtualBox. This is the user interface. It's quite minimal. Here you have to click on this new button. Here you can give name for your virtual operating system. I'm just giving Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. Here you have to specify the directory in your system where it will store all of the necessary files, and then you have to choose the type of the operating system. So as I typed Ubuntu here, the VirtualBox automatically identified that it's the type Linux. You can also choose the other types like Microsoft Windows, Solaris, BSD or other operating systems. And then you have to specify the version. In my case, it's Ubuntu 64-bit, but you can have other flavors of Linux as well. Then you have to just click on the next button. This is an important step. You have to allocate the resources that your virtual operating system can use. So in my case, I have 16 GB RAM installed on my PC. So let me allocate around 10 gigabytes of RAM for this particular virtual operating system. And then I'm simply clicking on next. You can choose whatever feels the best for you. And then it is asking for what type of hard disk do you want for the virtual operating system. So I am just creating a virtual hard disk as of now. And it says the recommended size is 10 GB, but it will ask for the size in the next step as well. So I'll just click on create and a VDI. And here it will ask for you the storage type. So I will just click on this option, dynamically allocated. So as it will require more storage, it will automatically, or you can say dynamically, increase or decrease the size of the hard disk. And then here you have to specify the default size for that, which is 10 GB by default. I'll keep it as it is and then click on the create button. So now it just created a virtual instance for us. There are a few things that I would recommend you. Usually these days we all use processors with multiple cores. So by default, VirtualBox put only one core of processor for each instance. So we'll increase it. Here you have to right click and click on settings. And here you will click on system. And here you can see we have allocated this much RAM during the setup. And here you will click on processor and you will see it allocated only one CPU by default, but my PC has 12 cores of CPU. So I will increase it to, let's say, 8. So then I will click on OK. And now you can simply click on start button. So it is going to start our virtual operating system. So it will ask for startup disk. I will simply click on the close button. So now it says no bootable medium found, system halted, because we haven't installed Ubuntu yet. So we have to install Ubuntu on this virtual instance as well. So for that, click on devices, click on optical drives, and here click on choose a disk file. And here simply browse to the location where you have downloaded the Ubuntu image file, which is this folder in my case, and I will just select this file and click on the open button. So once you have done that, simply close this and click on the power off machine button. And now simply click on start. So now using that image file, it will load the Ubuntu installation setup. Meanwhile, Ubuntu keeps on showing different notifications at the top, like this one, the virtual machine reports the guest OS supports mouse pointer integration. So some of the operating systems might not be supporting the mouse pointer integration. So like Windows supports mouse pointer integration. Similarly, Ubuntu also supports that. So that's why it's saying like you can use mouse during the setup as well. So you can see it loaded some screen. So now it is giving you the different options. So here you can select the language that you want to opt from now. So by default English is selected, and here you are given two options, either to try Ubuntu or to install Ubuntu. So if you just want to try Ubuntu for one time, you can choose the first option, and if you want to install Ubuntu permanently on this virtual instance created by VirtualBox, you have to click on the install Ubuntu button. Now you have to choose the keyboard layout. I am keeping the default settings and clicking on the continue button. Here it will ask you whether you want to do a normal installation or a minimal installation. And then also there are some other options like you want to download updates while installing Ubuntu. So I'm just unchecking this option to save some time. And here I will click on continue. Now it will ask you for the installation type. You can erase the entire disk and then install Ubuntu. And you can also create or resize the partitions yourself depending upon you already have some disk drives. So in my case, I have already created a fresh virtual instance. So I will just keep the first option checked and will click on install now button. So it will ask for confirmation. I'll just click on continue. So now it will ask for time zone, which is in my case IST time. So I'll keep the default and will click on continue. Here you have to provide some information like the name. So I'm just giving the name as Gurmeet and then keeping it as it is. And here you also can choose a password. So let me just choose a password. And then here I will click on continue. So now it started the installation by copying the files. So let's wait for some time to let it complete its work. So you can see the message, the installation is complete. Now we need to restart this instance. But before that, you have to click again on devices, optical drive, and just uncheck this option so that it does not load from this image file anymore. So we'll say force unmount, and now we'll click on restart. Now it says please remove the installation media and then press enter, but we have already removed it. So we'll simply press enter. So now you can see it's showing the user that we have created during the installation. I will click on that and I will enter the password. And now you can see it logged in and it is showing the usual setup that every other operating system show usually after completing the installation. So I will just skip this one and next. No, I don't want to send any information. Next and done. Now your Ubuntu is ready. You can use it the way you like. So in case you want to shut it down, you can use the usual options here like power off. And in case you want to start it again, you can simply open the VirtualBox and simply double click on this. So it will start our virtual instance and the Ubuntu operating system as well. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.